Finally! I thought you might have been eating. Is it done? Did you take care of that madman Drovos? Well, this has been an ugly business, hasn't it? A talented breedsman dead, a brood exterminated, mercenaries slaughtered. Sometimes I miss the Academy. Please take this. House Lalu owes you a great debt. Safe travel, Sarah.
What do you want?
Such displeasure and disappointment. Nothing works even though every calculation is precise. Oh, such displeasure and disappointment. Nothing works even though every calculation is precise. Now an interruption. How infuriating. Wait. Sometimes the great gear turns from frustration to opportunity. Divine energy. I'll have you know I participated in Lord Sother Seal's 9 analyses of the Exalted Enigmas. But we have more important matters. I'm about to determine the correlation between color and time, and I could use another set of hands. A reciprocal exchange. Interesting, yes. I can see the benefits of such an arrangement. Very well. Just activate the crystals in the proper sequence while I modulate the energy flow. Less chance of an explosion that way. Such a waste repeating words. Activate the crystals in the proper order. It's all about colors, like a rainbow. Make a mistake and reset the mechanism using that lever, unless it explodes. You'll be surprised how often that happens. You activate the crystals. Look for pure light, not muddled. I'll modulate the energy fluctuations, make sure nothing explodes. If color confounds you, look at the shape. Fewest sides to most. But the great gear turns, so be quick, be quick. A good start. Keep going. Correct. So far, so good. Like clockwork, you are. Close, very close. One more to go. Yes, I love it when the gears align. Perfect. Such are the benefits of an extra set of appendages. The energy flows freely and without disruption, allowing the rods and the pistons to align in a most pleasing manner. Thank you. Now, why do you want to know about divine energy? Scent. How intriguing. I was just thinking about my former master, Sother Seal, and the experiments we conducted. He desperately sought to understand the power he and his companions attained, especially whether or not that power was temporary. Not while I assisted him. He had a tool that he used to drain away minute bits of his own divine energy to store and study. He could extract it and return it as he saw fit. Not sure what became of the tool, but here are my notes from those days. More questions? Well, Lord Sother Seal attributed curiosity to intellectual superiority. Suppose I should do the same. Ask, and I will attempt to tighten the cogs of your ongoing education as best I can. Odd question. Is a hammer a weapon? A saw? A Dwemer spring spanner? No, it was just a tool. A device crafted by Sother Seal to aid in his endless experiments. Suppose I could imagine ways to modify the device, but for what reason? Haven't a clue. Tools have a way of wandering off when you don't stay vigilant. Had a guar that used to swallow tools when I wasn't looking. Glowed for a month until the enchantment dissipated and the tool passed. Should have heard the screams. I was his apprentice, but that was years ago. Spent time working in the Clockwork City. That's what I learned about energy transference, Dwemer engineering, mechanical symmetry. Made me the dark elf I am today. I have a question. Who sent you? The Archcanon, Lord Vivek's High Priest. Suddenly the gears align. I can think of a number of reasons that Alm and V would want to know about C and his tools, but some doors just shouldn't be opened. He's the father of mysteries and the architect of time, one of the tribunal, the 3 living gods of the Dark Elves. Creates all sorts of helpful and intriguing devices, like the Clockwork City. I haven't seen my old master in many years. It's a wonder and a miracle. All brass tunnels, glass domes, and giant gears. He was inspired by the work of the Dwemer, but the Clockwork City is pure Sother Seal. He made it to forge the future and reshape the world. I learned a lot there.
Outlander, over here!
This requires a considerable amount of effort, so just listen. We have a problem here. Return to my office immediately.
You are with the resistance at Arentia. Bright moons.
Magister Thorana really doesn't like to be bothered. Unless you have legitimate business with her, I suggest you leave. Oh, my. Well, she's very mysterious. Unusual, perhaps, but bold. She's going to do great things with her life. I just know it. You don't want to fail her, however. She doesn't abide mistakes. That's why I do my best not to disappoint her.
Vivek, curse you, thief! Guard!
door is open! Open at last! Hee hee hee!
Oh, excellent. Another clumsy adventurer bumbles into my home. I really must put a hex on that lift. Have you come to rob me? That would go very poorly for you. Sun in Shadow. Oh yes, I know the lizard. An enterprising young mage, if memory serves. Don't look so surprised. Her magical abilities are the worst-kept secret in Sadrith Mora. What does she want? I hope you bring more than boring salutations. Do you now? Well, she's a clever one, isn't she? Even convinced you to do the work for her. Impressive. So, what does our scaled friend want in exchange for this relic? No. Give me a moment. I'm keen to guess. She wants her freedom, right? Oh, good. I was afraid she'd do something boring with her freedom, like run off into the marsh to worship trees or some such. Sun in Shadow shall have my endorsement. I'll give you a writ. Deliver it to my mouth, Erevan. He'll know what to do. There, that should be sufficient. Now, take that writ and be off. I have a relic to study.
So much to do.
I've got my eye on you.
Do you need something? I'm rather busy at the moment. Oh? Let me see that. Submit to council. Argonian slave freed, services to House Telvanni. Well. I've always known Sun in Shadow to be ambitious, but this is quite the master stroke. I shall take this to the council and send for her. Feel free to wait in the council chamber. We will rule on this matter soon. One other thing. Some of my personal correspondence went missing recently. If that ever happens again, the Morag Tong will hear of it. I trust we understand each other. I'll give this to the council.
I've imagined this moment since I was a hatchling. I knew I'd be free eventually, but now that the moment's here, I just hope I don't embarrass myself. They'll deliberate, needle each other a bit, then set me free. I only hope that they'll take me on as a hireling as well. I'll even get my own quarters. Can you imagine that? Not only my own room, a whole house to myself. My heart is racing. Yes, of course. I mean, eventually. We can talk about that later. Just let me bask in this moment, all right? Truly, I couldn't have done this without you and Ioki. A plan is only as useful as the people who carry it out. You have my deepest thanks, Sarah. Now, I suppose it's time.
Well, well. What brings a slave to our audience chamber?
I bring tidings from my august patron, Magister Thorana. She would have your masters know that this slave, Sun in Shadow, has earned her favor.
What? Magister Thorana would lend her good name to this thing? Preposterous.
Relasa, don't be as tiresome as your master.
Can we move this along, please?
Very well. Magister Thorana, by right of rank, demands that the slave girl, Sun in Shadow, be freed from her bonds and raised up to a hireling of the great House Telvanni. She belongs to Magister Otheri, does she not?
Indeed. My most beneficent patron, Magister Otheri, acquiesces to Magister Thorana's demands. He is confident that Thorana will remember this kindness in the future. Sun and Shadow, you are hereby freed and lifted up to the rank of hireling.
My most majestic patron, Magister Gothrin, warns you all. Lift up one of these beasts, and 1,000 more will follow. This is folly.
If there's nothing else, I have urgent business in Tel Mora.
You've done well, girl. Do come by in a day or so. I may have some work for you.
What?
A hireling. Can you believe it? Not much of a title, I know, but I've spent a lifetime earning it. I'll burn these rags, polish my scales, and work even harder. The next few days are critical. I can't afford any slip-ups. Magisters circle new hirelings like cliff racers. If they see any sign of weakness, they swoop in and pick the bones clean. Not yet, no. Like I said, even the smallest mistake could spell disaster. It's still too early. I can't say more, not here anyway. Too many listening ears. Meet me in my new quarters, all right? I have a plan that might speed things along. Welcome, Sarah. Sorry about the mess. Believe it or not, this place feels like a palace compared to my old slave quarters. With any luck, I won't stay here long. I've hatched a plan that might catapult me to the rank of House Retainer. I'm glad you asked. Retrieving scrolls and relics, gathering up roots and mushrooms. That's what the Magisters expect from hirelings. Trust me when I say nothing stunts advancement like doing the expected. Real estate. Surprised? Good. Master Firith's been making secret inquiries, looking for land near Voss. Ioki knows a farmer who may be willing to sell his plot. If I purchase the deed and give it to Firith, he might sponsor my next promotion. I know I could count on you. Here's the gold. I'll not pay a drake more than what's in that pouch, mostly because I don't have a drake more than what's in that pouch. Ioki can provide more details, or you can just ask around Voss yourself. Fantastic! I bought new clothes, see? And no more sharing a room with 8 other people. This space belongs to me. It's mine. Best of all, I can stop hiding. I don't have to tuck my tomes under blankets or hide scrolls in my bodice. I can just be. Of course. Everyone works for the Magisters in one way or another. Hirelings occupy the lowest rung on the ladder. Aside from slaves, of course. But we can earn a wage and study in peace. We can even refuse a task if we wish. It's remarkable. I enjoyed more freedom than most, it's true. Most of the Marshborn slaves hated me for it. Called me Smokescale, Elfheart, and much, much worse. But that's all behind me now. I won. I harnessed my ambition, served my masters with loyalty and discretion, and earned my freedom. They whine like belly-sick wars and rot in chains. It doesn't get any clearer than that. I told you before, these things take time. I can't simply buy him because hirelings aren't allowed to own slaves, and I can't just set him free without jeopardizing my position in the house. This requires patience and an overabundance of caution. Archmagister Otheri. None of the other Magisters would have him. Too many escape attempts. Then there's the matter of magical aptitude. The Telvanni abhor hissed magic, and make him wear suppression manacles all the time, even when he sleeps. Doubtful. Hissed magic doesn't operate by the same rules as Telvanni spellcraft. I think that's why the Magisters hate it so much. I can't say for certain, but I doubt there's anything in Ioki's repertoire that could get him out of Sadrith Mora. From what I gather, he wants to build a new tower there. I've no idea why. Mistress Dratha essentially owns Voss, and I can tell you she does not welcome intruders. If I was mad enough to antagonize one of the Magisters, it would not be Dratha. I only need him to survive long enough to sponsor me. He won't break ground on his tower anytime soon. Plus, there's a rumor that Dratha suffers from some mysterious illness. It could be Firith's doing. You never can tell with the Telvanni.
I hope to be done here soon.
Greetings. We must speak quickly. The overseers grow nosy and suspicious. I do. Otheri banished me to those farms for a time. I spent 30 days in the dry box and heard many things. A salt rice farmer named Barris Rendo grumbled like a sick crocodile. His wife called Voss a backwater sty. He would sell. Why do you ask? She gave you gold? I thought... My heart told me that she gathered coin to purchase my freedom. She probably seeks to parlay this into an even greater sum. I trust her judgment, even if I do not fully understand it. Good luck, my friend.
I need a break.
Ah, another adventurer. If you've come looking for salt rice, you'll have better luck in the market. A slim harvest, you know, and we're a bit short-handed at the moment. My son, Sathan, has gone missing, you see. You haven't run into him, have you? Wouldn't I? I gave up work as a financier in Balmora for a chance at the simple life. I love it here, but my wife, she struggles with the agrarian life. We'd jump at the chance to leave, believe me, but not before finding our boy. Yes, in an instant. Like I said, Nineveh's practically packed her bags already. If you bring back our boy, we'll sell. Sathan's always been a thrill-seeker. Probably got lost in that Daedric ruin, Esutanimus. You'll find it just east of here. It's called Esutanimus. Sathan's taken an interest in Daedric history. A waste of time if you ask me, but I do admire his enthusiasm. We spoke about the shrine just a few days before he vanished. Apparently it venerates that monster, Molag Bal. I don't go anywhere near that place. We've got enough troubles here. Lean harvests, clumsy Telvanni wizards, my wife hen-pecking me to death. No, I'll not invite some plague from the House of Troubles as well. Thank you, Sergio. Be careful, and 3 protect you.
Did I hear you correctly? Are you going to find my boy? Oh, 3, bless you. Bring him back safe, please.
Where is it? Where is she? Not again! Hey, over here! Someone without wings and razor-sharp teeth. There's a sight for sore eyes. That's me, Sathan Rendo, explorer extraordinaire. My parents are worried. Typical. My mother barely trusts me to push a broom, let alone investigate a ruin. Of course, things could be better. I've attracted the attention of some winged twilights. Every time I try to make my escape, they swoop down on my head. Not to hurt me, mind you. They just sort of tussle my hair with their claws and push me back into the ruins, cooing all the while. I think they see me as some kind of pet. A daring escape! You'll have to slay them, eh? Pity. Of course, I did see them tear an Ashlander apart as he wandered by, so I won't shed too many tears. I'll make a run for it. We can meet up west of here towards Voss. Be careful! Ah! The matriarch is coming! Be careful! I'll run straight back to Voss!
came after me? You're getting as bad as Mother. I'm not a child.
Believe me, I'd rather be bagging our crop. But you know how your mother is. She won't give me a moment's peace.
Fine. I just need a breather.
There you are. Sorry to check up on you. I knew you had the situation well in hand, but Nineveh practically kicked me out. Said not to come back without Sathan. I'm glad I won't be going back empty-handed. Attracted the attentions? Never mind. I don't want to know. I'll miss this place, but Vec knows I'm not much of a farmer. I'm just glad I got to thank you in person. Your partner, Myrtis, already paid me for the deed to the property. What? Oh dear. The fellow was very convincing. Caught me right before I set out to find Sathan. He wasn't much of a conversationalist, just paid me a hefty sum of gold and snatched up the deed. He set out toward Voss once we finished the sale.
Here's the deed, Lady Jinrissa.
Good. Deal with any loose ends.
Well, if it isn't my favorite loose end, time to tie it up.
Back so soon? Well, you're quite the negotiator. I trust you found a suitable property outside Voss. Jinrissa. Interesting. That envious hag never misses an opportunity to stick a thumb in Firith's eye. Listen carefully. I need you to acquire that deed as quickly as possible, before she makes it public that she's bought land near Voss. I suggest you use all available means. You can begin by searching the Adepts' Hall in Tel Naga. I will warn you that the Adepts' Hall is not open to outsiders. You'll need to be careful while searching for the deed so as not to raise suspicion. Jinrissa's offered us a chance to double our winnings. If we acquire the deed and embarrass her in the process, Firith's bound to support my promotion.
you hadn't stopped the Covenant from summoning Sadal, we'd all be dead.
Did you find the deed? I'd hate to think that clumsy wizard Jinrisa outnixed me on this. Oh, no. I can't do it myself. It's not subtle or even polite. If a Telvanni just bluntly demands this thing or that service. I'm sorry to impose once again, but could you give the deed to Master Firith on my behalf? I know I've asked a lot, trust me, payment is forthcoming. Just offer the deed to Firith and tell him that Sun in Shadow would like his written support for elevation to the rank of retainer. Make it subtle, but not too subtle, you know. Just west of here, in a place called Hanoud, Firith values his privacy, so be wary of Atronachs and traps, and don't be surprised if he's a bit, eccentric. Meet me in the council hall when you return. I have a very good feeling about this.
Ugh, more visitors? I have those Atronachs out there for a reason. Can't you see there's no room? Oh, for Vex's sake, never mind. What do you want from us? Did she now? How prescient. Quite impressive, wouldn't you say, Geralt? Yes, I thought so too. I'm glad she chose to give it to me, and not that gua-faced bumbler Jinrisa. I suppose she wants something in return? These hirelings always do. Ah, yet another social climber. How tiresome. Still, exchanging a simple endorsement for valuable property seems like quite the bargain. Very well, it's a deal. Get out, be a dear, and fetch me that pen. What? Oh, fine, I'll get it myself. This should do. Now, off with you. My friends and I have pressing business. So much to do!
What?
We will review the request soon. In the meantime, continue your studies.
Muth Sarah Sooth is most kind. I thank you.